Harley Munger, the famous billionaire investor and vice chairman of Berkshire Hathaway, believes that the first $100,000 is the hardest to amass. It's not just him, though. Many people who have grown their wealth believe this to be true, and the same thing is often said about achieving the first million. Once you reach $100,000, the next one tends to come much more quickly. Before you know it, you have $200,000, $300,000, and $400,000. Then, once you hit the $1,000,000 mark, the second one is right around the corner and seems to take a fraction of the time as the first. This is reassuring for those who feel like their wealth is growing slower than they would like. But why exactly does it get easier? Let's see why it takes a disproportionately long time to reach the $100,000 mark, and discuss some things you can do to speed up this process so you become wealthy years sooner. The first 100K obstacle many face is the process of actually beginning to invest. Investing can seem like a low priority and often gets pushed to the back burner. Before you know it, you're scratching your head, wondering how you're going to retire. How many people do you know who would start investing if only they had more money? They say, when I start making more money, I'll invest. But saying you'll invest when you have more money is like saying you'll put wood on a fire just as soon as it starts producing heat. You don't invest because you have too much money. You invest because you want more money. Risk is also a common excuse. Most of us know a coworker or friend who reasons that investing is too risky, so they avoid it entirely. As with many things in life, taking the first step is the hardest. When the finish line seems so far away, it's easy to push something off to the future. Achieving the first $100,000 requires you to do the heavy lifting, meaning the majority of your money needs to be personally contributed by you. Once your portfolio reaches a sizable amount, compound interest begins to work wonders. Even though the returns as a percentage don't necessarily increase, the returns in dollar amounts become much larger. For example, if a $5,000 investment earns a 10% return in 1 year, that's only $500. That amount could easily be made by working a few extra hours, and when thought of in this way, can seem insignificant. But when a $100,000 investment earns a 10% return, that's $10,000. A great start to replacing your salary. Once it reaches $1 million, a 10% annual return is $100,000. That's a significant amount, more than many people earn at their jobs. People say that when their portfolio reaches $100,000, they can really notice the progress of their investments. Once the snowball starts rolling, the rate at which it grows accelerates. As your portfolio grows to a large amount, the progress becomes extremely satisfying, and that excitement can speed up the process. Put another way, you'll begin looking for ways to grow your portfolio more quickly because the rewards are substantial. You might look for ways to increase your income so you can contribute more. You might also look for ways to earn better returns to accelerate the growth. Instead of spending $100 on a meal, you'll think twice, realizing how powerful compound interest is. For example, if you spend $100 on a meal, that money is gone forever. If you had invested it, it could reward you with $10 the first year, $11 the next, and so on. While $100 isn't a large amount, the habit of saving small amounts regularly adds up over time. Opportunities with 100K, you become wealthier, you have more options. When you have $100,000 saved, there are many things you can do that someone living paycheck to paycheck cannot. If a new job opportunity arises with higher earning potential but irregular pay, you have the savings to take that risk. Maybe you've always wanted to start a business, but never had the capital or money to fall back on. The new business could make you millions, but if you can't begin, it's a lost opportunity. Perhaps an amazing real estate opportunity presents itself, a home way below market value, but it's a big risk. When you have money saved, this might be a risk worth taking. While it's not always ideal to cash out your investments, the fact is that you at least have the option if a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity arises. Someone with little money saved is far more limited in what they can do. Having more money also allows you to take on more risk with investments. If you see potential in a stock, it's easier to be more speculative when you have extra money and won't be financially ruined if that investment doesn't work out. A friend might present a business opportunity, and if you have extra money, you can invest without fear of financial ruin. Someone with little money saved doesn't have these options. Tips to reach 100K faster. If you're still working on reaching the $100,000 milestone, there are ways to speed up the process. Since the majority of these funds will come from your personal contributions, you need to focus on increasing the amount you save. This will be the best way to accelerate the process. To save more money regularly, you need to increase your income. This could be done by taking on another job on weekends or a few nights per week, with all extra earnings going into savings. Consider starting a side business that brings in extra income. Be mindful of unnecessary spending. Do you really need to spend $100 on dinner out? Or would you rather reserve that for special occasions and save instead? Watching pennies like this is temporary until you reach your goal, after which you can ease up a little. Avoid large car payments for vehicles that are simply unnecessary. These expenses are common reasons people never reach $100,000, let alone $1 million. Once you get into the habit of saving and investing, it becomes easier to continue. By the time you accumulate a substantial amount, you'll be used to finding ways to earn extra money and put it into savings. You'll also be more deliberate with purchases and will consider whether they're necessary or if investing the money would be more rewarding. Furthermore, you'll become comfortable with taking risks and investing through different market cycles, and may even learn how to take full advantage of them. Once you reach the $100,000 mark, you can let off the gas a little. According to Charlie Munger, while the first million is the next milestone, it becomes easier as the majority of your investments will likely be the result of compound interest, rather than money you personally earn. Next time you're stressed about the difficulty of increasing your net worth, remember, it becomes easier, more enjoyable, and more rewarding as time goes on.